Yeah, but basically what you have is, like the EPA is an agency, and they have rules and regulations. The Constitution has to be done through legislation if there's a changes.
They're not. He's making changes to it, and he's signing, executive orders. Congress says no. He writes an executive order and cancels that.
No, we're not going to let that happen.
Well, he's already done it with gun control. He signed the executive order that prohibits the reimportation of older, prior U.S. military firearms that we send overseas.
We have a piece of legislation that will prohibit him from doing that.
He already did it through executive order.
I'm saying we are going to overturn that.
You're going to overturn the executive order.
Absolutely. Well, when you have a piece of legislation, if there's no legislation and he's ruling on that, and I think he ruled absolutely wrong. We're talking about weapons or guns that could be 50 years old. Most of them don't have more than five-round clips in it.
Well, it effectively shut down the citizens' marksmanship program overnight.
Right. I'm telling you that we are moving to change that immediately.
Also, how do you reconcile on your taxpayer-funded website? You have a quote, and I'm paraphrasing because I didn't memorize the quote, that says something to the effect that you believe in a smaller government with less regulations, that private individuals don't need the government regulations in their life, but at the same time, you are being cited by the vice president of Beretta USA as the primary reason that Beretta did not choose West Virginia to create jobs in.
Beretta is to say they're being disingenuine is an understatement. Beretta is still in the most restrictive state in the nation on guns, and that's Maryland.
But Maryland has nothing to do with West Virginia, sir.
Maryland has no intention, Beretta has no intentions of leaving Maryland, and what they're saying is absolutely false.
Okay.
And I've had them in my office and sat and talked with them. I have Berettas. I'm a proud owner of 2 Beretta shotguns. I love them. But the bottom line is that's a disingenuous movement that they've used.
Would you also agree that Mayor Bloomberg does not have the right to cast a ballot in any West Virginia elections?
No, absolutely not. Not if you're not a West Virginia citizen.
So why are you accepting money from the mayor to affect policy in West Virginia?
Well, the bottom line is when we had people from out of state spending money against me, coming into the state and spending money against me.
But you would also admit that Mayor Bloomberg is probably one of the most vocal anti-gun people in the United States, with his mayors against illegal guns and that campaign.
On many things, many things we don't.
But you do admit that you're accepting money from an anti-gun.
If he's trying to help offset the unfairness that's going on, and basically the tax that we were enduring,
And how do you feel about the 2 Colorado senators that lost their jobs due to a re-election because of their unpopular stance on gun control?
I really don't. I don't even know that those 2 senators.